And we're back. It is the football show. It is week 4 in the National Football League. Cookies, by the way, presented by KG Law Firm. They have got to do something here. These games are starting to go way too long. Our man Scott Hansen, who I can't stand, he can't even finish the program. You got games going all over the place. He's like, yeah, if you're in Germany, you'll see this game. It's just we are back to now. I had to watch the Bears Raider conclusion on my phone. How are you, first of all? You good?
I am great. I know we're going to talk about the Lions a little later, but love seeing them do what they did today. And there's a lot of big winners today in the NFL.
Yeah, and I want to do this too. This is important. We're going to do our 5 big things. I want to offer people a look behind the curtain on something. Can I do that for 60 seconds? Sure. I know everyone's here for football. So really, really tough few days here for me, my wife. We had to put one of our dogs down. It was absolutely awful. It's the worst thing in the world if you love animals. The point is, no matter what you think of this guy over here, right there, see that? That guy smarms a lot. And Evan Jenkins, I know I've probably done Evan a grave disservice just discussing his love of cannabis-based products. I just want to tell you guys in listener land, if you like these guys for what they do in radio, they're better people. Like Jim and Evan were super, super, super amazing. Not only with the gift you guys sent to the house, but the note that was attached. It was lovely. And it was very, very nice. And my wife appreciates it. I appreciate it. Really, really hard. But it is what it is, man. It's what we sign up for. So I'm here. We're going to do a damn good show. But yeah, it's been a brutal couple of days. Just so, Jimmy, it's so weird. And I know you're a cat guy. It's the same principle. Weird watching games today. You look over, his corner of the couch is empty. That's tough. So I appreciate you and Evan. I love you guys.
Of course, dude. Of course.
Really, really first class by you guys. Seriously. All right. That's enough. I know the listeners probably don't give a shit. So let's party. Let's do the 5 big things. And we start with who won the day besides Jim and Evan's integrity. I would like to lead the band of positivity. And I want to say this is what's fun. In this town, you can't be positive enough with the Lions. But I want to tell you the Lions and the Eagles were my 2 big winners. Here's why. They were the only teams I watched today that displayed the Super Bowl trait I love the best, which is, okay, Lions are playing an elite defense. Eagles, their run game is just broken. You can lean on the 2 other components of the 3 phases of football and carry you through. Lions defense was excellent. Their special teams was excellent. Eagles, special teams touchdown. That's a guaranteed winner. We got to start tracking that. These teams got to be batting 95%. But I just thought Eagles and Lions comprehensively, Super Bowl good, Super Bowl trait, and I would officially like to get the velvet rope, set it to the side, and I'd like to welcome the Detroit Lions back into the Super Bowl VIP club. That was big time today. You don't blow out teams like that. You don't bomb great defenses like that. You don't, not when your QB wasn't great today. Your offense wasn't great today. Those are my 2 big winners. I couldn't be more impressed with the Eagles and Lions.
2 best teams in the NFC. Can't wait when they play each other in Philly later in the season. But you're right. Philly, like 3 yards of play, yet they had game control, force a couple turnovers, get the stops at the end. And for as good as Baker's been at the end of these games, for the Eagles to slam the door, that's big. That's that championship mentality. And for Detroit, they didn't have 300 yards of offense, and they won by 24. So it speaks to being a complete football team.
You nailed it, right? Here, look at the Eagles portion. Saquon, 20 carries for 40 yards. Hurts goes for, I think, $130. I know we'll have graphics on that stuff. The point is this. They did what the Packers didn't do last week. What broke down for the Pack? Well, the stupid turnover, but your special teams broke down. I just really, really impressive from both those teams, and I'm fine. You want to call them the top 2? It's fine. You know I'm putting Green Bay in there still, but I'm not interested in arguing. But really, really nice. Let's go to number 2. You have on here 7 Gs. Man,
this is for you. This is for you because you guys had a moment today. You finally won. I don't know if you have a quarterback, but he showed you something, and you guys come away with a win. We'll get to neighbors in a second, but just you and your Giants in a win. How are you feeling?
Well, I honestly thought of my co-host. If you're watching in Detroit, obviously Rico Beard. If you're new to us, he's a comic book guy, a Marvel Universe guy. All I thought of was Thanos. What did it cost me? Everything. Yeah, I got to win, all right. It cost me Malik Neighbors' knee. No, in all seriousness, Jackson Dart brought some energy. I'm not going to go over the top. It was 111 yards passing, but it was 60 yards rushing. It was the ability to hand the ball off 25 times, move the sticks, make a few plays. Like even just in the red zone, they ran this beautiful clear out motion concept underneath with a shovel pass, very like old school Chiefs. The story of the game, look, it was great. I'm happy for my dad because Lord knows it was rough all around. He was a fan of Otis. But also just my man needs a W. So it's simple, but we do need to focus more on the Chargers. Jim, Joe Alt got hurt, and depending on the severity of that, they gave up 22 quarterback pressures today. 22. Herbert can't function that way. Both interceptions were the byproduct of it. I just, for the Giants, great. You get a rookie in there. He didn't show his ass. That's a good defense. And they won a game. Now, what is he going to be able to do without Malik Neighbors? I don't know. But the Chargers,
I don't know. The significance. I don't know if you saw the stat. Dart becomes the first rookie to win his first start against a team 3-0 or better since 2002.
Well, that's it. We're going to the Super Bowl. What are we now? What are we? 1-3? 14-3.
Look, you know, and people, whether you're a fan of the Giants or somebody else, the power of hoping or starting to believe you may have a quarterback.
You're just, you know what it is, and I know Lion fans have experienced it. If you're listening to this in a town like Cincinnati or you know Arizona, eventually you just have to get up off the floor. You got to make the decision as a franchise. Are we going to get out of bed today? So at least the Giants got out of bed. Now they might be naked and crusty and hungover, but they got out of bed. They're standing on their 2 feet. So positive. The Chargers thing. Jim, I'm telling you, nobody was more bullish on Harbaugh and the Chargers than me. Had him win in the West. Jim, you're just not going to overcome losing your starting tackles. You got a taste of it today. Cleveland didn't have either of their starters. Lions feasted. It's the same thing.
Now,
no Joe Alt, no
season ending. The Joe Alt's not season ending as far as I've seen.
All I saw was him getting carted off as we sit down to do this show live. I didn't have anything firm. What was the announcement there?
I could get it for you, but I don't believe it's season ending.
You're good. If it's not season ending, we're cool. But if they lost him, you saw the difference. It went from bad to worse. They could not protect at all. Can I ask you an analytics disco question? Because this is now our new feature.
Before we do, I do just so people, you're tuning in, I want you to get accurate info. Joe Alt carted off, X-rays negative, high ankle sprain. So that's not season ending.
No, for a guy his size, probably 4 to 6 weeks.
Big deal.
You can get by, but that's going to slow the train on them and home field advantage. All right, analytics disco for my man Jim. And the new feature, side thumb. You can now say thumbs up, thumbs down, or analytically non-committal. Here we go. The disco. The Giants score to go up 19-10. They go for 2. I'm going, what are you doing? Just go up 10. It's 20-10. We're good. They go for 2. They don't get it. Thumbs up, non-committal, thumbs down in the analytics disco.
Go up 10. That's the wrong call.
Yes.
And I don't even
care. I don't even care if I lose every one of these the rest of the way. My mind exploded.
Well, people don't know the backstory. We're group text the whole day. And most of these, I'm telling you, no, Mike, it's the right call. No, Mike, it's the right call. This is one that I didn't get on board with.
Thank you. All right. Can we go to number 3 on the day? Now, listen, I'll tip my cap to you. I can't take the hat off. My hair is a disaster today. The point is, we can put the shovels away. The Chiefs aren't dead. That was a really nice performance. However, no, you did. Hey, we split our head-to-heads, by the way. It's the way it was meant to be. Can we talk about the Ravens in some different terms? Now, I understand late in that game, you had Lamar with the hamstring. You lost a couple of defensive starters. Jim, before that, I was texting you and I'm going, the body language of this team and guys kind of not finishing out plays, miscommunications in the back end. I counted 3 times just watching where guys are like, and they don't know the coverage. I got 2 safeties running into each other. Penalties, I think 7 or 8 of them in the first half. Jim, they turn it over. They take penalties. They're sloppy with the details. Efforts in Jim, they're a bad team. The Ravens are a bad football team.
They're not the buttoned-up operation we're used to. But I do want to put the context. Like, half the defense is hurt. Their 3 losses now are to the Lions, the Bills, and the Chiefs. And I do think the Chiefs made a bit of a statement here. They were the more desperate team. Yes. They got Worthy back. They had explosives. They were good in the red zone for the first time all season. And I think they needed it because the Chargers have jumped out in that division. The Ravens are in a division I still think they're going to win. As bad as this looks,
Watch old balls go and win it. Watch the Steelers win this
Rodgers?
thing. Yeah, the deal with the devil. Watch those idiots win this thing. But the Ravens, look, they're bad.
I'm not going to defend what they put out on the field today. I think we got to put the context. Their three losses are three of the four best teams or five best teams in football.
Okay. Oh, well, you think the Ravens? Where
the Ravens' losses are to teams that are Super Bowl caliber.
Okay, so let's do this. Can we place the Ravens outside the top 10 for right now?
Without sitting and counting, right on the edge, sure.
Okay, cool.
8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, and by no means, people, I don't want anyone freaking out. I don't think there's some horrible bottom 10 team, but they look like an 8-win football team. They do not look buttoned up. And by the way, they had a special teams bust today. So they just hat trick of disaster. Great call by you, by the way, with the Chiefs. I bet into Mahomes. That's stupid by me. And you decided to go into Big Dom, and look what happened to you. I have a note on the Big Five. Kickers must be stopped. I can't take anymore. And they've got to go back to the old way. These guys are doctoring the balls. All jokes aside, another week, another 65-yarder, another week, everything from 55 is pure. These kicker balls, and they're allowing them to
explain that to people who don't realize, because
they're allowing them to doctor the balls. You used to not be able to do anything with them 24 hours before a game. Now they can do whatever they're doing, and who knows what they're doing, but something's amiss here because these guys are absolutely hammering these kicks. So I know I'm not going to get what I want, which was kind of a shout out to mini golf in childhood. I'd like to see some form of clown's mouth or windmill. Like if you're going to kick over 50 yards, cool. I want a retractable goalpost. I want something from the Arena Football League in 1995. Like this much.
You want to up the degree of difficulty because kickers are great, man, and they're valuable because these kickoffs now, if you can do the knuckle kickoff versus give a real return, Mike, if a team gets a good return and picks up 2 first downs, they're in field goal range.
And okay, now forgive me because I know you're going to get mad. We've gone too far.
I'm not fighting you.
Okay, we've gone a little too far now because basically you blink, we're playing logo ball. Everybody's at midfield, and then you bring in the howitzer. And they're doctoring, it's like Charlie Huff and the spitball. I mean, come on, man. Like the league has got to figure this out because it's both field position and then these kickers, whatever they're doing, it's working. It's insane. And these kicks, by the way, these kicks are good from another district. It's the old days, a guy would kick from 48 yards and would get over by the length of a cat. Now it's like, and that was good from 86. And you're like, well, come on, man. What the hell is this? What do we do? How do we fix it? Besides, they got to go back. They can't let these guys. I'm not going to create a drop. I was about to say play with something. They cannot allow these guys to alter the footballs. There, I don't think there's any way that could be taken out of
K balls. They've always had special balls. Wow, that's a drop. But now they're letting them tinker with them.
Shit. I needed that laugh, buddy. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on from my hatred of kickers and the state of kicking in the NFL. I'm glad you put the Cam Ward thing on here, and I want you to take lead on it because I think this is a question. This is going to be an early pivot for him, fork in the road. This is the moment he either galvanized the organization or every veteran's going to beat the shit out of him in the locker room. I don't know which.
I guess I don't know the locker room, but I actually loved what he said. So Cam Ward, they lost again. They're 0-4. They were shut out. He hasn't played well. It's not all his fault. But he was asked about how he played today, and Mike, he said, well, I'll keep it a buck. We ass. We dropped a quarter of our fucking games. We have to lock in, especially myself.
And he said it. He goes, everyone from the O-line to the D-line. He basically called out the janitor. He
said himself. He put himself first. He's the quarterback. Mike, what are you supposed to say? This is okay. We're 0-4. No. I like that someone's unhappy publicly, and it wasn't cookie cutter media PR stuff.
No, I love all of it.
We can't.
I love all of it. I love all of it. Remember, it's just about. It's tough if that's a rookie saying it. Now, if he's first in, last out, if his play picks up, hey, it'll be the moment the Titans turn this whole thing around. But the issue becomes, I'm telling you, we talked about it last week. I'm going to say it to you again. Everybody talks about Dayball. They talk about McDaniel. I'm telling you, the first coach who should be fired. This Callahan is awful. Awful.
Well, their losing streak goes back, like 6 games last year, plus the first 4 this year. So there's no carryover. They have it. And here's the thing. They changed their play caller this week.
Yep.
How'd that go?
I
0
believe
points.
I
You have
believe
there's
shutout.
nothing else to do if the coach has already made the change at play caller.
Here was my notes on these. Here, I'll let people behind the curtain, like, because sometimes it's okay to just be sarcastic and not actually chart things.
Yeah.
Your game's terrible when Beth Mullins is on the call. That was my lead. And then a game was played, a score was kept. Nobody gives a shit. That's literally, there's nothing to take from this.
Nope.
And it ain't like Houston's problems are fixed.
Nope.
They just had old Slumpbuster come to town. That's it. Fair?
Fair.
All right. Listen, take him to church. We got a bunch of good games to go over.
So let's do it. Let's tell you about KG Law. The football show is brought to you by KG Law. You've been on these roads. People are maniacs. If you or someone you love is in a car accident, don't mess around. Get someone who cares about you. 877-KG-CARES, kgcares.com. You get the extra attention from a law firm that cares and puts you first. KG Law specializes in car accidents, so they're not going to leave money on the table. They're not going to settle for some lousy insurance lowball. Get my guy, Lawrence KG, and KG Law at 877-KG-CARES. That's KAJY, kgcares.com.
All right, let's get to the rundown presented by Hungry Howie's. We begin with something I loathe, and Jim knows it. No one wants 9 a.m. football, but here we are in, where the hell? Dublin or what? Who cares? Steelers do it again. They do it again. They have a blood oath. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And today was the passing game. Hey, there's no verticality. Cool. We're throwing shot plays all over the place. And by the way, look, I understand the Vikings are down a couple of linemen, but my God, 46 passes for Wentz. And on 45 of them, Jimmy attempted to hold the ball 5.7 seconds. What are you doing? This was a dumpster fire for the Vikings. And the final score to me does not indicate the way this game was played. Pittsburgh controlled it. And next week it'll be a race to 10 against the Browns. But they're 3-1. And Jim, I said it early. Go ahead. This could be what do you call it? The oh God, you always refer to these. The social media postings that go wrong. Like the takes back in time or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
Right here. Here's one where we're going, geez, maybe the Steelers could win this division. Watch, they'll finish 5-13. But like, Jim, if the Ravens are anything close to this garbage, you know the Browns aren't any good. And the Bengals are dead because Burrow's dead. Here comes old balls. Ayahuasca. I mean, it's just they just keep doing it.
I know, and I don't want to discount them because they are winning these games. But to me, the story was the Vikings losing their center and their right tackle. Quarterback gets sacked 6 times. They're on a backup already. But Steelers, if they keep winning games, Mike, they're going to be on that wild card bubble. If they get to 9-10 wins, they're a playoff team.
Total agreement. Let's go to Atlanta and the Commanders. This was my if I had one game to bet. Here you go. At least I got this one. Atlanta did it, but they don't make it easy, brother. They beat the Commanders 31-24, excuse 34-27. I apologize. Look, Penix was mostly really good. 20 of 26, 313. The pick was brain dead. It was awful, but the running game, and they made a schematic shift that I love. It was almost exclusively in the pistol today versus the shotgun. I'm not trying to overly nerd out, but you could see Bijan with the ability to step into the carry, was setting up his cuts at the line of scrimmage. It just flowed better. And what people don't realize is how tight these windows are, where when the running game, this isn't a video game. There's not a hole to run through. Sometimes you have to run into darkness, and then there's a crevasse, and you find your way. Like with Bijan, look, from a jump cut standpoint, this is modern. Like what Barry Sanders used to do with jump cuts is what this kid's doing. The run he had inside the 10, he made 3 cuts. And it was just like, how are your knees not falling apart? But Atlanta will still make losing plays, and they made several on defense. They do some stupid shit, but it's a win. Schematically better, passing game better, Drake London better. But hey, here's one. Bijan's the best offensive player in the sport. How about we don't bench him? Didn't bench him, but Algiers our closer. What are we? He's the best player in the sport. He had only had 17 carries. Oh, Jim,
I know they like Algier as this like battering ram, dude. They needed this. They got embarrassed last week. They're going to be a roller coaster team, right?
They are.
They're going to be 1 week to the next. You don't know what to expect. But, Mike, when they get their best players involved, Bijan, London, I loved seeing him get involved, not just in the red zone, but downfield. And Penix threw for 300 yards. When they're good, they're good. Like, they're playoff good, but they got to get out of their own way. They don't do it consistently.
You're playing Mariota. You got no scary Terry. This defense sucks.
Yeah.
So, look, it's a win, but I'm tempering the expectations on this team. Let's go Bills and Saints. Look, a game that was more competitive than people expected. I expected 31-19. There's no shame in it. Bills win. They were flat as a pancake to start. Who are we kidding? The Saints were able to run the football, and this has been a bugaboo for the Bills for years. Now, this rebuilt defense, it's not late, but it ain't early. It's got to begin to gel. You cannot be giving up 150 yards rushing to the Saints. I think 110 of it was in the first half. Analytics disco, if you want it, up 21-16, own 45, 4th and 2. And the Bills go for it. What do you just play defense? What are you doing? Now, they got stopped. It's immaterial to the decision. Thumbs up, non-committal, or thumbs down.
It's a go for it. I want to understand we're talking about the same thing. They're up 5, and you want them to kick a field goal to go up 8.
No, they're on their own 45. Hold on. If somebody kicks one from 80, I'm never watching this sport again. They're on their own 45.
Okay. Regardless, I know you're
good from 82.
You're going to say, pin him back, it's Rattler. I'm going to say it's a yard, it's Josh Allen.
But it's not a yard. It was almost 3.
I'm playing the personnel. We're an elite short yardage team. I'm going for it. It's not my own 10. I'm going for it.
All right. Okay, Tex. But look, Bills got the job done. They won by 12. Oh, but they didn't cover. Guys, let me just deliver a message here. This is really important. I think it's important for Lion fans to hear it too. Guys, winning is really hard. And if you just don't think your team's going to blow somebody out, it doesn't mean you don't believe in them. It means you live in the real world. You can join us here because the Bills didn't look that great. They didn't cover a number, but ain't nobody on this planet thought they were losing to the Saints, okay? By the way, if you're the Saints, how about we keep it simple, stupid? You have a chance to take the lead in this game, and they run a pitchy woo-woo at the goal line. I'm just going, I quit. What are you doing? You're pounding the rock. You got Chris Olave. You got Shaheed.
Is that that was the razzle dazzle and the DB makes the come on.
Pitchy woo woo. Whatever. All right. Patriots, Panthers. This is the hot tub time machine game of the week. Bryce Young has been benched again. We're right back to last September. But the Patriots put it together, played really well, got 2 massive special teams plays. You get a punt return for a TD. You get another one. I think it was a 72-yard return. Look, Drake, you win when your quarterback throws 17 passes for 200 yards. Drake made a really nice scramble. Patriots are 2-2. It's very uneven. You know what's next week, brother? Sunday Night Football, a credibility game. Go on the road to Buffalo and show me. Now, hey, you may lose, but it's how you lose. I want to see the Patriots go on a road and play a credible game against the team they're chasing. I'm very unsatisfied with their first 4 weeks. Very sloppy.
Yeah, I thought the bigger headline was Carolina. You're right. Like they're not going anywhere at this point. They had the 30-point win. What are you capable of the very next week? They had fought early in the season. Yeah. They just don't have solid footing right now. And if it keeps going this way, they're going to draft a new quarterback. And they're going to be doing this all over again.
Well, I hope they keep Canales then, because what sense does it? You hired him as a QB whisperer, but you hired him with a QB he didn't draft.
Correct.
So, look, it's David Tepper running that organization, and he is a wild card. Let's go to Niners and Jags for America. One of my favorite picks of the week. Duval. Can we talk about Liam Cohen's fishing vest? Can I get any of our outdoorsmen to please comment on this? The hell is this guy's problem? He's wearing a canvas, sleeveless, fishing vest with a hoodie under it. Buddy, there ain't no sea bass here. All right? You're in San Francisco to play. You're in Santa Clara to play a game. But look, no Nick Bosa, no chance. That was my biggest takeaway. The Jags were able to own the line of scrimmage. They could run it. They pass pro just fine. Defensively, I told you this Jags D is underrated. They're playing really well, Jim. But I am convinced of something. I am completely convinced Trevor Lawrence may, in fact, be dumb human. There are some problems here. I mean, you're a quarterback that out of a timeout, you take a delay of game. You had another one of these where you could have called a timeout. You're busy yelling and screaming about, Cosmo. Trevor, just call the timeout. Then they came out of the half. They did it again. Either something's wrong with them getting the plays in, but still, you're the quarterback. You have got to know. And then Cohen, who's over here at Cabela's in the hunting aisle, he's not using the timeout. Look, they got to win. You didn't need the 3.5. It was a delight. The Niners are a shipwreck.
I don't want to take anything away from Jacksonville going on the road and getting that win. My focus, though, is on San Francisco, who, again, can't run the ball. I know the 4 turnovers are the highlight, but when you're running 3.5 yards a carry for a Kyle Shanahan team, it's a non-starter. I know they're tied for first place in that division, but, Mike, I'm not seeing a good football team.
No,
and then that's not even counting the Bosa injury, which could end up being catastrophic.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, he's done.
No, his injury, but I'm saying for their season.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it is. I'm convinced of it. And look, I'm going to be wrong on the Cardinals. I know that. 2 weeks in a row, they did the same shit. They're not mature. They're not winners. The Rams are going to win that division. The Niners are dead to me. I just don't see a playoff team in there at all. Let's go Rams and Colts, because I got to get loose on one thing. I would, and I'm no hyperbole, no radio sizzle or any garbage, I'd cut A.D. Mitchell. I would release him after this football game. 2, unforgivable, idiotic, ridiculous plays. First of all, he made an unbelievable catch. Should have been a 65-yard touchdown. But he just had to show the world how big his wee-wee was, and not just run into the end zone. No, let me take the football out of here and hold it up like I'm holding a fucking birthday cake with a candle on it. What happens? The ball flies out of the end zone, touchback. They were going to be up 17-13 at that spot. Now it's Rams ball. What does he do later? Jonathan Taylor with his weekly Adrian Peterson routine of a 50-yard touchdown, breaking 80 tackles. A.D. Mitchell's out here trying to lasso the corner like a cowboy on Yellowstone. What are you doing? The dude's already by you, you moron. Those are 2 plays that cost the team the game. I'd be the worst coach in the world. I'd cut his ass.
2 touchdowns, 14-point swing in a game that they were in at the very end. And
take it.
I don't get it. Deshaun Jackson's the first guy I can remember. And after it happened one time, it should never have happened again, because it should be drilled into everybody's head. Cross the goal line, then have a pizza party. Do whatever the hell you want. You can pick up a 15-yard flag, but the touchdown's got to stand before you do any of that stuff.
Let's go Bears and Raiders, and we'll try to be brief because this is a very upsetting game to me. First of all, let's get the analytics disco out of the way. Raiders, first quarter, you're down 3-0, okay? Not 30-0, Jim. 3-0, you got a 4th and 1 on your own 34-yard line. They go for it. They get stoned.
This one's probably in the sideways one. It's a yard. They ran the ball great all day. The Bears' run defense is terrible.
Yeah.
It's a yard.
Okay, well, let's get to the Bears, because if you ever want to see a team didn't deserve to win a game, you're looking at it. Geno Smith is a CIA operative sent to destroy this franchise. Now, I'm kidding about the CIA part, but Geno Smith was sent here to destroy this team. 3 interceptions today, 2 in the first half, 1 on the first play to second half. He's thrown 7 INTs on the season. I don't know what. Holy hell. Now, luckily for the Raiders, the Bears had to kick field goals because they couldn't block a soul. Max Crosby had 2 tips, an INT, a sack, pressures. He was Godzilla in this game. The Raiders run for 250 plus. The Bears can't do anything to protect their quarterback. What happens? Bears 25, Raiders 24, because block field goal at the gun. The Raiders inexplicably with a timeout on 2nd and 3, and 3rd and 3, just run it into the line of scrimmage and play for a 53-yard field goal. You deserve to. What are you doing? You have a timeout. You've got 40 seconds. Jim, here, thumbs up. Pete Carroll's an asshole. What are you doing? What are you doing?
This is one where, yes, Geno, the 4 turnovers, the Bears had to win the game. It was handed to them. But at the same time, Mike, they also had to put a drive at the end of the game to take the lead. Any credit at all for Caleb on the road, putting together a game-winning drive.
You can have it, but it's 2 bad football teams. And that Bear defense, the Raiders averaged 72 yards on the ground a week. You gave up, what was this, 1975 Oklahoma? They gave up damn near 300 yards. Ridiculous. So the Bears get a win. Congrats. All right. Let me give you a word from Hungry Howie's, and we'll keep the show on the road here. They are repping the 313 very simply. Detroit-style pizza. This is a Cookies exclusive. The best ingredients, real in-house made dough, real mozz, unlike some of these places using like Wisconsin space cheese or whatever it's called. It's made where it's supposed to be, and it's real deal Detroit style, and it's at a real competitive price, $12.99. That's competitive in the pizza game, people. Get over to hungryhowies.com today and celebrate boldly with authentic Detroit-style pizza. All right, Lions segment. Let's get to it. Brought to you by Moran Chevrolet. Cookies, I gave a lot of my thoughts at the top, so please, you're Diana Ross. Step to the microphone and sing a tune. What do you got for me?
Yeah, game was never in doubt, and I don't think Detroit played their best game. Certainly not offensively, right? With the pre-snap penalties, offensive line, JMO drops. Lions had like 270 yards of total offense. But on a day where you had a tough matchup against the Browns defense, the defense of Detroit steps up, right? You end up winning by 24 points on a day where you don't even have 300 yards. I think it says you're a complete football team. That's a complete football win. Detroit's a complete football team. And for the third week in a row, Jared Goff sacked 0 times. So you are starting to see this team put it together.
Yeah, they're a Super Bowl team. I'm comfortable. I've seen what I need to see. Like, this is all summer. You said, yeah, I don't do blind hope. All right. Hope is not a strategy. When you replace 2 coordinators, yeah, I want to see 3 or 4 football games and what it looks like. O-line has continued to get better. The defense finds ways. I am getting a little worried on the back end. You got some injuries back there now, and Terry Arnold may just stink. But we'll see. But I mean, Jim, again, first play of the game, it seemed like penalty. The next time I see him on the screen, penalty. They're already cutting his reps. The other thing, and it's the only messaging I want to reinforce, every week can't be last week. Like, every week can't be like this. And ultimately, win. If you can win convincingly, you throw a party. But in the NFL, it's just win. It's so hard to win. The margins in this, like, I know we locally here in Metro Detroit, we're college football people too. Yeah, dominance in college football is common because the margins are great. Example, Oregon had 9 NFL players on their defense last year. 9. My school had 0. Like, that's a margin.
Yeah.
In the NFL, everyone's good. It's just some people are very good. So look, I was thrilled with it. I mean, you came home, handled your business, no emotional laydown, focus. Dan Campbell is bar none a top 3 coach in this league. He just is. And he gets these guys to go to war every week. I couldn't be more impressed by it. And I'm fine. You want to talk Super Bowl now?
A lot of teams off a win like that on Monday night on the road with a short week. And the Browns aren't very good. Would have played a game down to their opponent. And Detroit didn't. Like, look, you knew Cleveland's D-line was going to make it tough to run the ball. You knew Goff was going to have some issues, and he had the one bad interception.
Yeah.
But their defense bails them out. They got 17 points off turnovers. Cleveland didn't even score 17 points. So they say complimentary football, but you pick yourself up and you learn to win different ways. Detroit doesn't have to win the way they did on Monday night in Baltimore. No. They can win this way too, and that's the hallmark of a great team.
They can win every way. That's why I'm comfortable putting them back in a Super Bowl conversation. And last week, when you go into Baltimore and win like that, I went from 11 wins to 12. Like, I think 12-5 is a division-winning type record. I think it's going to put you right there for the 1 seed. I don't think there's a 13-14 win team out there. And it's mission accomplished. Stay healthy. Keep winning. You know, you're going to go and play Cincinnati. Great. Jake Browning, have a nice night. You're dead. He's toast. But that's it. And look, there might be a speed bump somewhere. You may drop a game somewhere. It happens. I just think Lion fans are like the garbage man who hits the lottery and they don't know what to do. Like, all of a sudden they have money and they don't know how to act.
Well,
and they're broke in 6 years.
I've already seen some people, because like I do the pregame and I thought the Browns would keep it within 10 points.
You sounded good today, by the way.
Defense. And
I listened this morning. You sounded way less smarmy. You sounded very nice today.
Well, I was confident they'd win, and at no point was that game in any doubt or concern that they were going to lose.
Yeah.
But when the game ends, I get messages from people. See, anybody who thought this would be close. Apparently I didn't believe in them enough for some people. Like, Mike,
what was the thing Schmidt-Schuster's doing? All the receivers are doing now. The little here. What is that? Like, get away from me or whatever. Do that to people. Just enough. Grow up.
They're very yes.
Let's get a word from Moran Chevrolet before I get pissed off. Go ahead.
September, truck month. Moran Chevrolet, perfect time to elevate your tailgating game at Moran.
number one selling Chevy dealer and best game day start. The 26 Silverado Crew Cab 4x4. Lease one at Moran right now, $349 a month, 24 months. Or the 26 Equinox LT, $279 a month, 36 months. Guys, they got the best deals in town, MoranExpress.com, or you can stop by on Gratiot, just north of 15 Mile in Clinton Township. It's Moran Chevrolet, where you always get the best price period. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. All right, let's get to the question of the week, brought to you by C4 Energy. And remember, 3 new flavors of the C4 Ultimate Tropical Tundra Frost. Cherry Bomb Frost, that's my deal. I don't know, I'm a sucker for it. And also the Frostbitten Citrus. Question this week from Nancy and Troy. How long should it take for new pieces of the O-line to learn all pre-snap communications? To me, it would be preseason plus 2. Preseason plus 2 weeks. And I think you're seeing the Lions do it in living color right now. Better each week. I'd say 2 weeks.
The Lions offense, like, I know Dan Campbell has this like caveman, like big man, hit small man offense. Their run game's diverse. It's inside zone, it's outside zone. They run toss concepts, they run counter concepts. This run game has a lot of nuance to it. And Mike, I think it's remarkable how quickly, and it's a shout out to Hank Fraley, that they've solidified the way they have, because week 1 was a miscommunication nightmare. Then to snap back at home, okay, it's at home. On the road in Baltimore, I thought that was the statement that this offensive line has found their rhythm.
You know, I want to say this too, because this is the thing that really it pisses me off, maybe because it happens to me all the time too. It's like people get this idea of somebody based on like the way they look or like what they may present publicly. But like Dan Campbell's not some fucking rockhead or meathead. He's actually a really smart guy. He's actually a really offensive-minded, mathematically advanced guy. Yeah, but his traps connect to his earlobes. Who gives a shit? The guy is really smart.
He doesn't look like Poindexter, so he can't be an offensive guru. And the truth of the matter is the stuff he's running is stuff that they ran at the Saints with Sean Payton or Parcells 20 years ago. He's been around. He's paid attention. He's smart. He's sharp. And this fourth down stuff is not like meathead stuff. It's actually analytically
done. It's like people who think I go home and debate the Tigers rotation with my wife. I do a radio show. It stays there. I'm actually a normal, nice human being. But the Dan Campbell thing has to stop.
But I think he likes that. He's like perceived as a bit of a meathead. It's like a rah-rah camaraderie thing. He gets the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I think he's a football player. That doesn't mean he's stupid.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that he's a rockhead. Like, he's doing some really advanced shit. And guess what? You know what else Dan Campbell is? He's a CEO. What a coach is oftentimes you are the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Do you know what head coaches are in charge of? Staffing. Go ahead and hire a couple of pinheads and see how that quarterly report comes out. You missed the playoffs.
When you promote from within the way they did on defense, you have to know people. And Calvin Shepard looks like a big-time promotion. Morton was here previously, so he had an idea of what he was bringing in. And, Mike, I think the key is hands-off versus hands-on. At the end of Baltimore on Monday night, 4th down call, guess who makes the decision? It's the head coach. But he empowers his people throughout the week and nudges them and lets them be themselves.
I just want to see him given credit for being a really smart guy and being an offensively advanced guy, not run the power trap 90. That's not what he is. Sorry. I needed to get that off my chest. I hate when people do that shit. All right. Let me give you a word from C4. Then we've got a little Sunday Night Football action here. If you got a question, get to a participating 7-Eleven. Look for the QR code at the C4 Energy display or on the cooler and ask your question. For a list of participating 7-Elevens, you can find that list and details at 971theticket.com. C4 Energy, the energy drink you need. 200 milligrams of good caffeine in the performance, or the fully loaded 300 milligrams in the ultimate energy. And it's not your traditional energy drink. It's next level. Lots of good stuff in there, including beta-alanine. They've got beta power and betaine. They got things in there. I'm not a chemist. I just tell you feel damn good when you drink it, okay? Go buy some at 7-Eleven. You got a question? Ask it. It's C4. It's good stuff. All right, Jim. Shall we, my good man? Let's get to Sunday Night Football where, oh, look, Jordan Love slander. I didn't even have to, oh, my God. The Packers are banned from this show. You have such a hard-on for this kid. Fine. Packers laying 6.5 at the Cowboys. Here's Jim's notes. Packers O-line banged up. Cowboys something to prove. Better QB. Dak Prescott is not better than Jordan Love.
Yes, he is.
Oh, my dear God. You know what? I take back everything I said at the start of this. You're a real jerk. You're a problem.
I take back my gift then.
Fine. No, listen. I think everything you're saying here is right. I'm nervous about this. Oh, well, you don't believe in the pass. I don't believe in flippantly laying 7 when you're down 2 starting all linemen tonight. Now, yeah, but it's a Parsons revenge game. Does he play right tackle? Because Jacob Tam ain't playing today. And I just, this has worried me all week. Why do I look at this game and go, is this going to be more it feels like the Charger game. It feels like a fait accompli. Yes. And that's the shit that scares me. It scares me.
I think the biggest thing is 2 offensive linemen, the left guard and the right tackle not playing for Green Bay. I mean, they want to run to set up everything for Jordan Love. And slander aside, he's probably on the same tier as Dak. But if you don't protect for the guy and he's on the road, I do think Dallas has something to prove. You don't have to think they're very good. I don't think they're very good. But they're going to want to show that they weren't Micah Parsons, that they're their own football team. And from a betting standpoint, I think 6.5 is a big number.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to go with the Cowboys based on that defense. How about this? I want to make you a fair, square offer. If Jordan Love does not slice and dice this Cowboy defense, you will have unlimited slander time. I will cede the time to the senator from Delaware, okay? And you do whatever you want on next week's show.
He should have, if he has some time, be able to stretch vertically because everybody's passed it down the field on Dallas. Caleb Williams and the Bears did it. Russell Wilson and the Giants did it. It should happen for Love. I would look to see if they can get Golden going, right? That's the rookie. It's the deep threat. I'd like to see.
Here's the other one. Here's the other one. They've got to get the running game going. It's not a Josh Jacobs thing. He's in great physical condition. He looks great. The running game's been a bit of a mess, okay? And they didn't run it great against the Lions. They didn't run it at all against Cleveland. Tonight, if you can at least get a supportive 110, 120 yards on the ground, that's going to be a big red flag for me for Green Bay. Look, the same way we evaluate the Lions locally, you evaluate all these teams. Your resume is what you do every week. So I'm not going to tell you the Packers are going to have the best ground game in the world one good week. But if you don't run it against this team, no, it's a problem. You're bad. You're bad.
They should win this game. They're coming off an embarrassing loss. They blew a double-digit lead on the road to Cleveland. You'd think this team's going to be inspired and play hard. I think they'll win. I just think it's going to be close. And I think for people thinking the Cowboys are going to lay down and die, I don't think that's happening tonight.
All right. So oh no, what is this? Are you doing one of these cookie dough things here?
So I'm just going to briefly for people on Cash the Ticket podcast we do, I threw out a simple 2-leg parlay. And I just want you to consider, you should like this. You're the horse racing guy. This is a big payout for a 2-leg parlay.
Okay. All right. It's a little pick 5. All right, let's go.
Golden over 40.5 receiving yards. We just got done telling you can hit vertical shots.
Hold on, people. Hold on. Jim taught me something. You ready? This is an uncorrelated parlay.
There it is. So you're getting a big payout because I want to go over yards, under catches. Under 2.5 catches, over 40 yards. It's a shot play. It pays 11-1. And the reason you're getting it is because they're not supposed to go hand in hand. If you were to say, I want him to catch a lot of balls and get the yards, the payout's going to be nowhere near that. So it is by definition a shot play down the field and a shot play for the payout. But I think it makes sense. Golden doesn't get a ton of targets, but he's got a matchup down the field.
How about a Micah Parsons sack? I'm kidding. I don't want any part. I want any part of this. That's enough. All right. What do we miss? We good? That's the football show. Now, here's what I want to do next week. I know it's, some smart ass. Well, technically it's not the quarter poll next week. Next week's the quarter poll on this show. We're going to make a little long-term declarations here and have a little fun. We're going to do a quarter poll episode. Okay. That's the football show for week 4. Appreciate all you guys watching.
Before we get out of here, we got to tell people about Crocodile Cloth and then we can do some sign-offs. All right.
Done and done.
All right. All right, well, we got a second. Let's tell you about Crocodile Cloth. It's your do-it-all solution for life's toughest messes, and we love the Crocodile Cloth grill. Here's why. If you love grilling but hate the cleanup, these are going to be a game changer. They've got Crocodile Cloth grill. They're 10-inch by 15-inch. They stay wet a long time, and they're going to power through anything that gets caked on or baked on your grill. Crocodile Cloth can clean your cooler, your outdoor furniture, anything and everything that gets messy at your tailgate or cookout. So, go to crocodilecloth.com/football show. Get a tailgate bundle and a free gift. As they say at Crocodile Cloth, go ahead, get messy. All right, Mike, now you can sign us off.
Appreciate
That's
you, buddy.
the football show.
That's the football show. Thanks for listening or watching or whatever the hell people do with this thing. And we'll talk to you next week. See you guys.